following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to the MR Uno Arcade April Tournament. We'll start 64 here on the channel for Division 1. We have had quite the hectic round to say the least, but we are about to wrap things up with our final match of the opening round. It is going to be number 4 seed Andy taking on number 13 seed Seth Cole in the Joystick Regional. For both players, definitely could use a victory here. Andy went 1-1 in tournament 1, while Seth on a bit of a drought at the moment here could get a win here to break that drought and get something strong going for this tournament here. But again, for both players, running a different format for this tournament here, so both players guaranteed to play 3 matches no matter what ends up happening here. Obviously, you do want to get the win, because that's what helps you get the chance to play for the tournament win. But if not, still got some extra consolation matches that can help you for the season at large here, and also the in-season challenge as well, because that's coming up soon. Again, after tournament 3, that field gets set for that. So we'll see how that all plays out, but should hopefully be a good one here to wrap up the round. We'll see how this one goes, but looking at the bracket here, sectional bracket really. It's been quite the run here so far. Mark was able to beat Dark Rain in a clean 4-0 sweep here, looking to go back to back here after winning Fairy Tale February. Taco takes down Arya 4-3 in a pretty good match. Arya Dark Rain in the revive rounds, and Mark Taco in the Turbo 32, and on the bottom half of this, Gio with the big upset over Captain. That's going to be 2 tournaments straight now. He has won the opening round matchup here, and will now be going into the Turbo 32 to face the winner of this one. Loser of this will face Captain, which definitely will be a tough matchup, but could be an opportunity for a good win in that one there. So a lot of opportunity at stake here for both players here. We'll want to get the win to keep moving forward here, but we'll see how it all plays out here as Andy Seth will wrap up the round and determine our Turbo 32 field. Taking a quick look at the preview for this one here, Andy coming in at 17th in the players poll after tournament 1. That one's kind of a little bit, that's kind of based off how you did in tournament 1 really, so not a whole lot to judge off that, but Andy with a solid start to the season, although did go 1-1, so looking for a bit more here. Veteran versus novice, 7-6 record for Andy in the opener. I don't think that is correct, actually. Yeah, Andy went 8-5. I'm not, that's a slight goof on that one. But I digress. 8-5 game record for Andy, and 2-4 for Seth. Both players actually did pretty well in this tournament last season. Both made it to the round of 16. Andy with a 12th place finish, Seth with a 9th place finish. So both had a good run in this tournament last time. We'll see if either one can get something going in this one here. For Seth, I believe actually this tournament was the last time he was able to get a win here. So looking to try and rekindle some of that success from last season with a win here in this tournament. Yeah, this was the actually the one tournament that Seth was able to win in all season. Got 2 wins in this one, and unfortunately nothing else the rest of the season. So looking to see if he could spark that tournament 2 magic. We usually know Austin Rogers as the tournament 2 merchant, but uh maybe Seth can get something going here. Maybe make it back to the round 16 and beyond. We'll see. But Final look at the preview here. For the accolades, Andy with that silver medal from Tournament 5 last season, Seth with nothing at the moment, and then for the CPU prediction, going to go with 4-2 Andy. So, not thinking the upset will happen here, but we've seen a few upsets in this bracket so far. We'll see how it all plays out here as we are ready to get things rolling. But gonna go to the stream here. Gonna ride solo commentary on this one here, but we got both our players looking ready to go. Gonna ask both their thoughts heading into this one here before we begin, though. Starting with Andy, who's coming off a 1-1 record from Tournament 1 here, and I mean even with last season, a strong performance overall here, but you're going into this one against Seth, who's very much looking for a win on a bit of a drought here, but was able to shine in this tournament last season. For you, it's just kind of trying to rack up the wins as you go and trying to put yourself back out front like you were able to do so last season here. Just kind of walk me through your thoughts going into this matchup here, especially going up against Seth, who is definitely going to be someone who's hungry for a win, especially with a format like this. All right, Andy's going to type. While Andy's typing, I'm going to ask Seth a similar question. Seth, kind of going into this one here. This tournament last season was the last time you were able to get a win in the league. We have a bit of a different format here with a 3-match guarantee here, so definitely a lot of opportunity to break that drought. But you're going into this one against Andy, who had a very successful 2025 campaign. You're looking to break the winless drought. How do you believe? You're going to do it? And just kind of thoughts heading into this matchup.
Just basically play smart. I think, I mean, as you say, on a bit of a drought as of right now, but a lot of those first round matches where I ended up getting eliminated didn't really necessarily end those series feeling like I left anything on the table. It felt like they were very good competitive matchups. You know, Red was referee this past Thursday, the match I covered between Logan and DJ even mentioned, it's those kind of series that you don't necessarily regret being on the losing side of because you know that it was really competitive. So obviously, would love to dial up a little bit of magic from last season since this was the round that I did really well in. But if I'm not able to overcome Andy, who's a very formidable player. I've seen a couple of his matchups, covered a couple of his matchups. If we're not able to pull up the upset, at least still make it a competitive series nonetheless.
All right, we'll see how this goes. Again, Seth has been competitive, but definitely looking to be on the winning side of this one. For Andy, gonna read this off. I mean, I like to get a win here just to build up my resume and hopefully capitalize on my 25 season. This match is by nature kind of do or die just because how this tournament works, but I'll treat this series like any other and try to win. All right, so both looking at gun for the win, and we'll see who ends up coming out on top here as we're gonna get things rolling. Nam's gonna be the ref for this one. We'll get things started. And Andy will have the call for game 1. We will see what Andy decides to go with here. Taking a minute on this one. All right, there we go. Gonna start in the middle with 10 cards. All right, final match of the start 64. We are underway, and starts off with the L0. Seth throwing in that good luck right before we begin. And we are going here. So that is not the start Andy wants. They're gonna draw on that yellow 0. Not a good start on the starting color here for Andy. We'll see what Seth can do on this yellow. Not anything. He's gonna switch it into blue, so we gotta switch off the starting color here. Andy starts with a draw. Seth starts with a switch on the 0, so we're running blue now here. And we go from bottom to top with that one. Had the 0, and you play the 1, and then we go up to the 9. And it's kind of going all over the place here as Andy now switches it into green. Seth's just gonna roll with it for now. Both players have a color switch early on in this one. But Seth currently with the lead. As both just kind of keep running it down on the numbers. So taking a second to type on this one here. Do we have a run incoming, or is he just kind of thinking what he wants to do next? He's gonna have a +4 here in the blue, and just does a double play on that one. So likes to go for the +4 there. That's the first ammo card we have seen in this series. Andy up to 11 cards here. Seth extending his lead. And Andy's just going to go with a double play on that one here as we continue to run blue. And Seth is going to draw. May not have been the play that he was hoping would have happened from Andy, as Seth drawing on the blue 8. Andy going to keep playing on blue. Now, what does Seth do here? Does he have an option to switch out, or is he going to have to keep drawing? We're just going to get a top deck blue 7 here. And Andy is now out on blue. Does Seth get the switch into 7 into a different color on the 7? He does not. And looks like we're gonna have a draw city here in the middle of game 1. Both out on blue and unable to switch. Draws keep on coming here. Andy gonna top deck a blue 2. Seth continues to draw here. And still in draw city on this blue here. Both really racking up the cards at the moment. Still drawing here. Questionably, when does the break happen? Seth gonna go with a +2 here. And another +2. That puts Andy up to 20. Andy in comeback range here. But we do get the switch into yellow, so that frees things up here. I think Andy is gonna go back into blue. May have a few extra blues here at the moment. But yeah, for now just kind of visuating it. And yeah, Andy gonna kind of use that as a pick and goes into red now. All right, so Seth going back into yellow. What he switched into beforehand, and Andy gonna give him a bit of a slap at the face for the switch and throws a +2 at him. Seth just gonna keep rolling in the yellow here for the moment. Andy taking a second. I think this has kind of been a game that's kind of been a little bit on the slower pace of things. Both players just kind of taking a bit of time to just kind of think through their next move. And you kind of see that where this game is kind of getting close to 7 minutes here. Got a bit of a run from Seth here though. Switches it into red and makes it a 3-card switch into the red. Plays the red 5 to close it off. We just hit 7 minutes. Andy with the red 4, just gonna roll with red for now. Seth really looking to close up this first game here with a win. Has led for a majority of it. Has thrown Andy back a few times here, but looking to close it off. Another red reverse from Seth. Would he be looking at a finish here? He is close. Andy is typing as well. Throws the +2 down. Just making, I think he's just making sure he has this all right. And it's gonna call Uno here. Andy had the call out ready, but Seth has it all typed out correctly, so gonna get the Uno call there. And Andy gonna shut that down with a +4 right away. So Seth gets the Uno and gets immediately thrown back to 5 cards. And Seth did not have the finish anyways. It seems like unless it was a so he's gonna draw on that red 7 here. Likely looking to get out of the red here. Also depends on what he got from that +4 there. Could be in a bad situation if he got a bunch of spread out junk. And he's slowly but surely trying to bring this one back. Switches it into yellow. That might free up Seth here. So yeah, Seth freed up now. Both looking to run it. And no, Seth is actually going to go for a wild play into green. So plays 1 yellow and then gets off it right away. And Andy is going to say not so fast, brings it right back into yellow with a skip chain. But Seth is going to say no and switches it into blue. We're just getting a bunch of colors here. Andy with a wild play though goes back into yellow, forcing Seth's hand, and Seth has nothing. He's going to have to draw. Andy keeps on going here. Speed picking up a little bit here. Andy might feel he is close. Or wait. I don't know. Yeah. And no, Andy is out now, so no yellow remaining for Andy. Went for the wild there. They played that yellow 9 and then may have gotten thrown off with the yellow 4 from Seth. Top deck yellow 3 from Seth here, both looking to find a switch here. Seth is going to get it into that green. Double play there, green reverse, green 5. Seth with the green skip here. We saw him do this before. Last time he got down to Uno. He has a +2 though. Does he have it this time? And this time he has it. Seth will take the win. Opens this one up 1-0. And we'll get it done in 11 minutes 32. So Seth gonna open up the scoring here. Seth, bit of a game where you kind of were leading for a good chunk of it. Got close a few times, but kind of got thrown back at points. But just kind of thoughts on that game and how you're able to kind of navigate the seas to get that opening win.
Just got lucky, I guess. Latter portion of some number efficiency with some light switching, because when he hit me with the +4, it gave me 4 numbers of 3 different colors. So it's the only way I was able to kind of whittle those down. Um, Ironic that the green skip was part of the finishing run there to close this game out, because that was the one mitigating card I had back when I was at Uno previously. I was trying to rely on some card history there, seeing if maybe with playing the 8, maybe he would try switching off into green off that 8 to give me the finish, but at least I was able to draw out the +4, so I guess that was a plus on that front. But no, I mean, there was about, I don't know, 95% of a path to get to the finish, and then just kind of trying to figure out what that final 5% was. And fortunately, once we got over to green, I was worried about that because we hadn't been in green for a long time. That was Pandora's box, and I knew I had some ammunition on my end. I didn't know if he had ammunition on his end. So as soon as we swapped over there, when I made the initiation over with, I think it was the green 3, I didn't know if we were gonna maybe again be going into another draw city or if I would have a path to the end. But yeah, that was a competitive first game, so hopefully that's a good precursor what we got coming up for the rest of the series.
All right, we'll see how it goes here for the remainder of the series. But Seth's gonna open it up 1-0. Andy gonna have the call for game 2. We'll see whether Andy will go up, down, or maybe run back 10 again. We'll see, but they've got the call. Gonna go up to 12 cards here. And we begin with a blue 6 to kick this one off. Actually, what was the race? 14. Alright, Andy, again, we're starting off with another switch off the start here within the first turn, going into yellow. And both just looking to run it here. Both games so far, the starting color has not been seen too fondly. And we're going to go with another switch here, this one the green. Again, both just going to keep on running it. And goes back into yellow now, so brief run on green, now we're going back into yellow. Seth switched to the green, and now Andy goes back to yellow here. Seth has some yellow to play, both still running it. Andy with the current possession arrow lead, both have just been playing numbers so far. Seth is out on the yellow, though. Andy gonna keep going. Seth's still drawing, and Andy's gonna draw as well, so Andy has ran out on yellow one turn later. Now both potentially opening up another draw city here. We've seen quite a few of these early on. Top deck yellow 0 though from Andy. No play from Seth. Did we get one from Andy? The 0 is tough to switch off of, and Gonna see that right there. No play from either. Draw City continues to keep on rolling. And again, draws just keep on coming in here. I should probably actually boost my microphone here because I'm noticing it's not really getting to the yellow. I might be speaking a bit quietly right now, but yeah, Draw City keeps going. Both just cannot seem to find the option to play the yellow or get out. Seth is already up to 17 cards here, so this has been a bit of a struggle so far to find this yellow, or even a zero. Right, Andy with a double play on that one, gonna go with the 4. Seth gonna find a yellow reverse, and I believe we'll finally get the switch. There it is. Yellow finally broken here as got a big run from Seth. There was a +2 down. And ends it with a 4-card run to land on the red 8. It's going to be 12 to 14 after that. Andy goes back into the yellow. Seth may not be too pleased with that one there, as he's going to have to draw. And Andy is now playing some yellow here. And then Seth's going to be able to get back into the red, which he initially wanted. And now both running red. Now Seth's going to blue, so Seth doing a bit of switching so far. After this draw city, has had a few color switches. Yeah, now we go one down to the blue 2. Another switch from Seth goes into the green. I mean, this does feel like a 3-color game here, and Seth is using all 3 colors right now. Ditto play on that one. I believe that is the first of the series. And another switch from Seth. He goes back into blue. Switching all over the table here. I'm just going to keep running blue, but Andy has been able to run with Seth as well, and that's allowing Andy to get closer and closer. Seth with another blue here. Andy's been good with all of this so far. Andy typing, looking for maybe a run potentially. And that is going to likely be a run to the finish here. Doubles up on the Uno call. And that will do it. 528 on the board for Andy. And Andy has tied it to make it 1-1. Yeah, and I mean, had that run to the end there. Seth went for a lot of switching on that one, but ultimately Andy was kind of able to roll alongside it and ends up being the beneficiary of that. But Andy, you kind of just ran with the draws there. Had a +4 to end on that one. Were there any big cards you were able to get during the draw city that kind of helped you be able to get your finish that we just saw there? We'll see what Andy has to say here. As it's tied 1-1. Had the +4 and +2 from the beginning, was looking for more ammo during the draw city at the beginning, but luckily had a good number of efficiency during this game. Yeah, we definitely saw that there. Kind of Seth going for a lot of color switches on that one. Andy just kind of rolling with it there and was able to capitalize when he needed to. So that's going to be how game 2 wraps up here. We'll go to game 3. Seth will have the call now for the first time in the series. Just can't pick 10 cards. We'll see where he decides to go. Seth had so many skips. Oh man, I was looking to save up for a big run there potentially with the skip chain possibly. But ultimately going to have to hold on to that one there for game 2. All right, Seth, you got game 3 call. No 10 cards.
Let's go 5.
No send for Seth here. Gonna try something different. Bit of a mix-up on this one. And speaking of the skips, we start off with a red skip here. Seth really trying to mix it up. Might see something here. Starts off with a red reverse. And he is going to close it. Double play right off the bat. Andy able to respond with the red 9. Seth able to get that switch, though. I think he was needing that switch, and he was able to find it. And going to get a +2 for his troubles, though. Andy going to draw, but Seth thrown back a little bit here. Seth able to just keep rolling blue, though. Andy does not have blue. Needs a top deck or a switch. Gets a switch in the green. Any switch in these no sense could be pivotal here. Seth is typing. He has 3 cards left. Yeah. And Seth is out. No green for Seth here. Andy able to run on green now. And suddenly the situation has flipped. Gets back in the blue, though. Had the blue 5. And Andy going to have to draw a bit of a color war starting here between blue and green. But no, it's going to be used to traverse into the yellow here. And now Seth looking to be in the driver's seat. Andy gets to play. Seth does not have anything left on yellow. Only had that yellow 5. Does that actually help Andy? And it does help Andy more than it helps Seth on that one. And Andy is going to capitalize on that one and take game 3. Seth was trying to look to find his way to the end, but ultimately did not have it connected there. And gonna be 2-1 Andy here. Only question I have for Seth is what was the last cards you had on that one as you were traversing through the 5s?
As I was traversing through the 5s, I had another 5. His +2 was pivotal because I was getting ready to do a power play. I know it's early on, but I was going to do a power play and end off with double 5s. So he played it at the right time.
All right, so Andy that +2 coming in clutch and able to run the again. They're kind of able to roll with the cards on the table here and gets it done. So quick one for Andy here. Seth gonna have the game 4 call here. No send did not work, but we'll see if he decides to keep going low or maybe go somewhere else.
Yeah, let's run it back.
Gonna run the no send back again. All right. Back to back no sends here. And another ammo card to start, blue reverse. Seth started with a reverse in the last game here. We'll see if he plays a skip this time to inverse it. No, it's just going to be a number, but he does have a play. Blue 2. Both players able to play their first turn with blues. And the 5s come back again here. Seth with a switch to yellow. That switch ultimately did him in the last game, but this one's going to help him as Andy's going to have to draw. Seth keeps on going here on this yellow. And Andy gets a switch into red. Does this help Seth? No, it does not. Seth's going to have to draw. Seth is going to have to draw there. Does Andy get something going here? No way. A chain of skips starting on the red and ends it on the green. Wow. Had the skips line up there, and that switch was ultimately pivotal to get that win. And suddenly, Andy's up 3-1, gets back-to-back no-send wins on that one. Start off with 2 red skips and drew a green skip, so that green skip ended up being pivotal on that one draw there. But yeah, I do not think that was the way Seth was expecting that one to play out. But gonna be three straight for Andy here, 3-1, and Andy now in a good position here to maybe take this one. He has the game 5 call with only 5 and 12 off the board here, so we'll see what he decides to do, but in a good spot here at the moment. Yeah, Andy with the game 5 call. Gonna go 9, so gonna go higher up. Not gonna run 6, but is gonna go more towards the mid range here and starts with the yellow 6 here. Red with the incorrect read on that one. All right, Andy gonna start with the yellow 7 here to kick things off. Ooh, not the start Seth was hoping for there. Gonna have to draw on the opening color. No yellows, it seems, for Seth. Well, a 3-card run already from Andy. Andy already looking to get things running here. Seth gonna switch it into blue, looking to put a stop to Andy's antics here. But Andy's gonna keep on going here, continuing the plan A. Plays their card again. Blue 0 from Seth. Andy looking to get down to 3. And will not do it. Does only that one blue there, and it's going to have to draw. So Seth looking to ride this one out here, potentially. And no, and Seth is also out on blue, so looking to be another draw city on this tough 0. Had draw city on the 0 before in, I believe, game 2, and that one ran for a while. So we'll see if we get the same fate here. Both continuing the draw. But Andy's going to get that top deck blue too. Will either player go for the switch here? Seth is typing, so maybe he has something. And he will. It goes into red. And is Andy going to roll with the red as well? Kind of a similar spot that we were in beforehand now. Andy going to switch in the green. Looking to run it down here. Seth looking to do what he can to keep this game alive. Seth is typing, so maybe thinking about what he wants to do next. And gonna go for the +4 there on that one. Was not feeling super secure about that and decided to go for it there. Goes back into red and plays the red 5. And will take the lead with that one. Red 3 from Andy. Just gonna keep going with the red, especially with 4 additional cards just drawn. Seth looking to keep this red going as well. He was liking this color here and wanted to continue it, and we are seeing him continue the roll with this red here. But Andy's going to have a while to go into green. Color he originally wanted, and Seth has none of it, and going to have to draw. Andy looking to run the green. Seth continuing to have to draw, trying to look for that switch. Cannot find it. But Andy is also out on the green 9. The draws will keep on coming here for both players, but Andy's going to top deck a green 0. Seth taking a minute. Another +4 from Seth here. May have top decked that one. Top deck that one goes into the red once again. Tries to play. I think tries to play a red reverse. May not have it. Now tries to play a yellow reverse. Unless it's just lagging. Okay, it's gonna be a skip. So plays the red skip. Then the yellow skip. Okay, so had what he wanted, but just wrong cards. But yeah. So +4 in the red, and then goes in the yellow. Retakes the lead on that one. Andy is gonna be right on his tail though for the moment. Yeah. And for now, just kind of keep going on yellow here. Andy with another +4 thrown at them. Yeah, we get a ditto play on that one. Yeah, I mean, I think for Seth here, definitely looking to try and create some separation, get another win here, stop the momentum from Andy, and get something going in Game 6 on their last homestand. So, throws a +2. That +2 may have given the wild to Andy here. And Seth continues to struggle on this green. Andy gonna roll with the green once again. This has been a color that Andy's been able to go back to a few times in this game. Hasn't always had green, but it seems to be a bit of a safe color for them. Seth once again taking a second to type. Has the power play. May have drawn something big. And it's going to be a wild. Gets the wild off the top deck and looking to run it on blue here. Blue skip. 2 more cards looking to come in here. Blue reverse. Andy tries to call out, does not get it. And Seth looking to wrap this one up in about 7 minutes. And the blue 2? No, blue 3. All right. Blue 3, that'll do it. Seth gets the win, uses power play on that one, and it's going to be 3-2 here. So that's going to be a pivotal game for Seth to get, though, because that breaks up the momentum. Andy had won 3 straight to that point, and Seth gets the call for Game 6. So that's definitely going to be an important win for Seth to get on that one. But Seth got the job done. At points, we're a bit behind, but managed to find your way around it and get the win. Were the top decks a pivotal part in helping getting that win there? Because I mean, there were points where you drew and then bam +4, and then that one had the draw, and then was able to find the wild there to get the win. But do you think with that win, maybe the momentum could start swinging to your side to pull off this comeback?
I hope so. I was back and forth on whether to use the power play, but with Andy at match point, you can't take the power play with you once the series is over. So I thought we'll use it now. At least try and make the gap at least a little bit smaller. Yeah, the top decks were crucial. I got a wild +4 on one of the top decks. I got that wild right there that led to the eventual power play because all I had left was blue. I had a run. I just needed a way to get there, and the wild provided that. So. Yeah, the top decks definitely helped out in a big, big way right there.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Game 5 here. Seth has the call for Game 6. We'll see how this one goes, but yeah, Seth has the call for Game 6. He tried no sending on both the his homestands in Games 3 and 4. That one did not pan out. We'll see if he wants to go for a third attempt on that one or goes for a different start.
Let's go 8.
All right, gonna go 1 down here, and gonna start with the red 4 now. Sorry, I just had to read something. But yeah, ran red, and now we get to switch the yellow from Seth here. Again, 8 card starts, so still kind of in that mid-tier range, but a bit lower. Lower. Seth has been liking these lower card starts, but deviating a little bit from the super low cards right now. But yeah, both have just kind of been playing numbers so far early on in this one. And you're gonna get the switch to blue. And that is a tough draw for Seth to have there. Gonna have no blue on that one. And you're gonna keep going. We'll get the top deck blue here, looking to throw Andy off a little bit. And does not seem to be the case here. Gonna have to draw again, and you're gonna keep running it down. Still running it down on the numbers. Seems to be a very number heavy draw for the starting hand on both ends. Seth gonna get that switch to the green. Does that help him? Andy at Uno has the green 3. Seth taking a second to think what he's got to do. And he's got the +2 to save things. And another +2 goes in the yellow. It lands on the yellow too to wrap up that 3-card chain, and suddenly the situation has been flipped. Immediate switch the red from Andy. What does Seth got here? Red +2 gets the Uno. Is this going to be a fatal switch? It is. Fatal switch from Andy on that one. We go to game 7 here. And that was also after Andy got down to Uno on that one. Andy had a numbers draw on that one, and Seth able to stay alive in this one with a big win. Gets his second straight. But yeah, going into game 7 here for all the marbles. Seth started with 3 +2s on that one and ends up using all of them to find his way to the win. But yeah, I mean, this is it, game 7 to wrap up the round here. I don't have much to say from that game, but this will be it. Andy has the call for game 7. We'll see what Andy decides to do here to wrap this series up. Andy probably going for 15 here. And there we go. All right. Red 5 to start this one off. And Andy gonna immediately switch off the red here. Andy does still have their power play here, so that could be a factor. Seth used his in game 5, but we'll have to see how that ends up getting thrown into the mix here in terms of how this one goes. But both running numbers start this one off once again. You kind of see that sometimes, or a good chunk of the time with these higher tier starts. Kind of feel it out with the numbers here, but we're getting a lot of switches early on. Andy just kind of rolling with it here. Seth taking a second to type. He's going to go for the ditto play there. And another switch from Andy, so blocks off the yellow switch there. And now Seth's just going to roll with the red here. Double play from Andy, throws a +2 Seth's way, gives himself a bit of a lead. Now what does Seth do? Taking a second to type. Does he potentially respond back? There will be a response here. Red skip. Green skip. Switches the color. Throws a +2 of his own here. And ends it with a green 2. And that's going to flip things a little bit. Throws Andy back to 11. Now Seth is at 9 cards. And Andy just going to continue the roll with green. Runs with green, switch the blue. Seth's just going to roll with blue for now. No one has drawn yet in this game so far. We got a run going from Andy here. Throws a +2 down with the blue reverse and switches it into red for a 4-card run to retake the lead. Seth going to have that 0 switch into yellow. Bit of an unknown here. Andy able to play it. Seth has another +2. A lot of +2s coming out in this game here. And now going on a bit of a run of his own. Switches it into blue and ends it off with a blue 4. And now Seth has retaken the lead. What's the response from Andy? Again, still no self-draws yet in this game. Everyone has just been playing what they've been given. And Andy's gonna power play. Did the +2 actually help Andy find what they needed to get the win? Has a +4. Goes into green. Power play comes into effect here. And gets another +4. Runs it on yellow with the red skip. And yeah, no, it didn't call Uno at first, but saves it. And gets the red 3 to end it. And Andy is going to take this one. Near scare there with the no Uno call, but Seth a little too slow on that one, unfortunately. But Andy gonna get the job done, and wins this one in a very hectic game 7 to say the least. But Andy, I gotta ask, what was the +2 there the big difference in being able to get the win on that one? Because you had the switch into yellow and then got +2 and then went immediately power played. Was there a chance that you end up getting one of those +4s there on that +2, which ended up helping you find your way to the finish? Pre +2. Yeah, I picked up another +4 there. And actually just kind of gave the connection needed to get the job done, and then got an additional yellow skip there as well. So yeah, +2 ends up helping Andy there in that one in a game where a lot of +2s got thrown down. So Andy with the win moves on to face what's it called? Andy moves on to face Geo. Seth will go to the revive round to face Captain, but Seth, I mean, it was again kind of similar to what you said before at the start, where you've been having a lot of competitive games here, but ultimately just not quite coming out on the winning side of things. Seems like we have another one here. Your thoughts on this one overall? Anything you felt maybe could have gone a bit differently, and just kind of your thoughts going into your next matchup against Captain.
Yeah, no, I don't think anything that I can see in retrospect I would have done differently. By all rights, this probably should have been a 4-1 victory for Andy. So the fact I was able to get 2 back there after being down 3-1, as you say, it at least was competitive. I loved there with the 15 card send that we didn't draw at all. We literally just whatever we played was what we played was what we had. Outside of obviously what we had to draw with the +2s, but yeah, it's the risk, right? You hit him with a +2s, you hit him with a +4s, you have a chance of giving the ammo on the other side. But I think at that point in time, I think he and I, we were just kind of hip checking each other there to try and make sure we got the advantage. I had an answer for him, he had an answer for me. And he got the cards he needed there on the flip side. I don't honestly know if I would have had a finish at the end there. Of my remaining 4 cards, 3 of them were fours, 2 in yellow, 1 in red. So I don't know if I would have necessarily been able to pull off a miraculous light switching miracle there. But I tried to at least try and keep the advantage on him because he, of course, had the power play too. So when you're playing on the defensive side, you got to try and build as much of an interval as you can as far as the amount of cards in your hand. So, no, it was a very competitive series. Again, one of those ones that you don't really mind being on the losing end of because you at least made it competitive. If this were a 4-0 sweep, then I might be talking differently. But no, don't mind losing this one at all. Well done to him. Best of luck to him. And yeah, I've watched quite a number of Cap games, so I know I'm in for a fight there as well. So uh, hopefully dial in a lot more of what happened here, and hopefully end up getting the series victory in the upcoming one. But no, not disappointed with this result at all.
All right, thank you, Seth. Again, once the stream ends, we'll open up scheduling for both of y'all for your next matches. But again, good series to wrap up the start 64 here. And that will do it for us. So, congrats to Andy on moving on 4-3 win. Good match to end off the round here. But we will begin the Turbo 32 starting Monday, and then the Revive round 2 and round 3 matches will keep on going as the days go on. But until then, I'm Jamie, and thank you all so much for watching this stream. On behalf of our ref, Nam, both our players and everyone who came out to watch, we thank you so much for tuning in to this match. Congrats to Andy on the win. We will see you all next time for the start of the Turbo 32. But until then, take care, everyone, and have a good one.
This has been a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.